And we are going. What's going on with everybody? What is
What's
your
up,
boy?
man?
Eric, aka the Young God, coming to you live in the Green Dungeon, giving it to you real raw rugged. And I have a very special guest on the other line. I will let the brother introduce himself, man. Who do we have here today?
Deante Kyle, host of the Grissom X podcast.
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm just chilling, bro. You know what I'm saying? Over here at the home studio, I was getting some work done. So I was like, yeah, bro, 2 o'clock, we can do this thing real quick.
Hey, I told you this on camera, but once again, I appreciate you coming through and let me interview you, man.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
It's not every day I interview somebody like you, which I will get into. I just might as well get into it right now. This is not how I found out about you. Um, I found out about you because I would just like see clips of you. Like
Hmm.
you figured out the algorithm. You in that thing. You in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
algorithm.
yeah,
I
yeah.
hadn't seen clips of you. I couldn't tell you what's the first thing I saw, but this was after we talked about doing the interview. Um, but a few days ago, I don't even make stories like this on Instagram, but I made a story basically saying that we are in a anti-intellectual movement where if we rewind and we think about somebody like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, even somebody like Muhammad Ali, very great thinkers, profound people. These were mainstream people, and in the mainstream now, I was like, who are intellectuals from this generation in a mainstream sense? They're smart people that are still famous, but they're from different generations. I would say even somebody like Bill Nye the Science Guy, he's famous because he's smart, but
Right.
he's from a different generation. I wouldn't say that he's of this generation's of intellectuals. I'm like, who are these people? And I was like, even hip hop, there were hip hop intellectuals that you could hear on the radio. You could just turn on the radio at a certain time in like the 90s, and there would be like these most devs and all these rappers and whatnot. Where
Yeah.
now, if you want to find like a profound thinker, for the most part, you got to dig for it. You got to find it on a website, on Twitter, or whatever. It's not going to be on the radio outside of a nigga like Kendrick and maybe Cole or something like that.
Right.
Most rapping isn't thought provoking in the mainstream, at least.
Correct.
So I say all this to say my question was to people, who are the people in the mainstream who are intellectuals? Bunch of people. Deante Cow, Deante Cow, Deante Cow, Deante Cow. And a bunch of people said you. And it's funny because I'm not gonna lie, they still did defeat the purpose of what I was saying, because I was saying super mainstream, like niggas that are like household names. You're probably finna be a household name with the way you got the algorithm set up, nigga. You might be a household name.
Yeah.
And my mama going to be sending me Deante Cow videos. I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
My thing was, who are these people? And I was like, it's not really a lot. But with all that said, hey, niggas love you because niggas was spamming me with Deante Cow. They was like, you know
Yeah.
who it is? You know what it is? I was like, damn, bro, this is the guy. Because
Yeah.
me and my homeboy was talking about that previously. We was like, who are our black intellectuals? We really couldn't think too many people. And at this point, I see people putting you in that conversation.
Yeah. I mean, it's an honor though, bro. Like, um, I grew up not really valuing my intellect as much, just because on the average, niggas is not really. It wasn't really big on, like, it was weird, bro. Like getting like C's and D's, it was just kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and it was like some type of validation of like being edgy or bad or whatever, cool, whatever, right? But it was always there, you know what I mean? Like I had like so many teachers was like, bro, you can't even fake being dumb. Like you just need to fully lean into your intelligence because it's there, and like you're not helping anybody by not applying this. But I still kind of bumped my head along the way. And then it in discovery of like you said, those great black thinkers, James Baldwin specifically, Fred Hampton specifically, um, I was like, nah, this is it. Like, no, this is what needs to be happening. Like, this is how we should be thinking, and we should be kind of like critiquing and criticizing the world, especially given our position. It really doesn't benefit us to be dumb at all. Also, too, it's like there's like some blanketed insecurity around intelligence where people feel like they have to hide it. And I mean, as somebody that like literally went through that, where I felt like I needed to kind of reel in my intelligence, I think now is the time for people more than ever to be loud about it, especially like you said, in a wave of like anti-intellectualism, and also like dumb people being loud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said on my like previous podcast, like fools really don't have shame. So like they'll say anything and they don't care about the consequences. They don't care about the ripple effects. Whereas like people who are intelligent possess a certain level of empathy where they know that their words have effect and consequences and they're mindful of that. So we're like in a battle against people who absolutely don't give a fuck versus people who give a fuck so much that they won't say anything.
Yeah. Dumb people are really loud. And
All the
like
time.
I mean that in like a literal way. Like they make a lot of noise.
Yeah. Well, because the thing is like there's a pining for attention that they have. So I've I think that the thing it goes two ways. It's like there's people that want attention because they didn't get attention at home. So they kind of take on like the class clown aspect, which, you know, personal, that was me, funny, but like not dumb, not like hurt myself for attention,
Yeah.
just like witty, joking, woo woo woo. But then you also had these people who would do literally anything for attention, like they would make an ass out of themselves. And we have to realize like all of these people have grown up.
Yeah.
So like those people that we knew were idiots in school, like they have same access to the internet as we do, bro. And there's no like segregation of class, especially when it comes to intellect. So we just all kind of in this pot together, like in this one big classroom of social media together. And these niggas are so loud that we like forgetting there's an actual lesson that needs to be taught or notes to be taken or like some different or nuanced perspective that has to be said. And it's just like, nah, we just like kind of letting the fools run rampant. And then, you know, the thing, it translates to politics as well for us. So it's like, ugh. And then it translates to hip hop as well. And then it translates to hip hop media. It's like overwhelming how stupid some people are.
I'm very bad at this. If I meet you and you're an idiot, you're probably going to be forever an idiot in my mind. And people can grow, but boy, oh boy, I've met some
Well,
bumbling.
like it's hard to like grow IQ. You know what I mean? Like that's not, you see what I'm saying? Like you can change a lot of things about yourself, but like the way like your brain, you know what I'm saying? Like, the
Yeah.
way your brain like computes and receives and then outputs information, that's a tough challenge. Like I think that shit takes like real like drugs and like maybe like psychedelic trips or something like that. Something got to get rewired up there, and unfortunately, it's like not happening.
You know, it's a story that I always think about. I was in 12th grade. We were doing this assignment. It was actually an interesting assignment. We were given pictures and paintings, and we had to estimate when we thought this picture or painting was done. So, like, oh, this looks more like the 1500s. This looks like 2005, whatever. So it was a black and white picture, not a painting. It was a picture, and it was a group project. And I remember saying, "This looks like the 1900s, sometime in like the early 1900s." And this girl was like, "No, it don't, Jit." And I was like, "What it look like to you?" She said, "The 1900s, ain't that like George Washington time?" And she's like, so like seriously trying to call me dumb. And I'm just like, this is so funny. She's so loud and she's so brash. Like, man, y'all look at this dumbass nigga. This nigga think this was done in a George Washington time. And I was just like, you just don't know, don't you? You're dumb.
Yeah, you just don't know, like because you still 300-400 years off, like. But the thing is like, so there's like an insecurity about it as well. It's like the not knowing, but also like the not being able to say I don't know.
Yeah.
So like I think that that's one thing that has helped me out like tremendously throughout my life is like I'll just be like I don't know.
Yeah.
And then if I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. You know what I mean? Like I don't marry my ideas or my ideology. I think some things are just like black and white and they're facts. So it's like I don't really have to marry a fact. It's a fact. A fact is a fact. You know what I mean? But I think when it comes to like certain perspectives I have, if I'm presented with new information and it actually makes sense to me, then I can pivot. Like I don't mind being wrong. I think for the most part, people care more about being right than they care about having the information.
Yeah.
And so it's like that's what that is. Like she doesn't know, but because you were more confident in your answer, it's like, let me clown this nigga because like this is an insecurity for me, like just not knowing shit. And then it's like reading is a muscle as well. So like if you're not exercising that reading muscle, then words will start to leave you. Like I realized that like halfway through last year. I was like starting to forget like words that I used commonly. And it's like, oh, well, I haven't been like reading as much. I've been more so taking in media. And so it's like limiting the words that I'm having access to and shit like that. So it's like, okay, let me get back in my, like, at least while I'm driving this truck, like, let me get my audiobook bag. Let me get back into my documentary bag. So like I could be presented with this information in a way that my brain understands, and then I can regurgitate it in a way that people understand. You know what I mean? But I think that nobody's using that reading muscle. And it's like if you gain mad weight, like if you wake up 300 pounds and like it hits you like, yo, I'm extremely out of shape, like I'm morbidly obese.
Yeah.
The hardest thing to do is to get up and go walk. So if you've not been reading or you've not been taking in like any fact-based information or well-researched information from like intellectual scholars, like experts, the hardest thing to do sometimes is just to be like, you know what? I don't know shit. So let me go listen to somebody who do know some shit, or let me go read a book that piques my interest and stuff like that. It's just like a muscle. Like people aren't flexing that muscle, and then they're getting a lot of their information from misinformation machines like Twitter and shit like that. So it's like I literally was just finna like make a video about this, or like put it on the podcast. But there has been like a wave of like staged police videos going around where like the cop is clearly being discriminatory towards like a black person or just any person, like abusing the law type shit. But it's so clearly staged, but people are taking it as like a real interaction when it's like, first of all, like this would never happen. And two, it's like, okay, like what is this? Like, what is the purpose of this? This specifically, like this idea specifically, is it priming us for more police brutality? And then you get the situation that just happened in Memphis where they acquitted those officers. You get the situation that's going on in Ohio right now with Rodney Hinton, and where we kind of have like this feeling of we know where that's going to end too. Same thing with the situation of Carmelo Anthony. There's like, it's like, why is it so many staged videos of police abusing power and they're not being justice done? At the same time, in reality, there's a lot of situations where there are abuse of power or self-defense things that probably won't be brought to justice. It's like, that's the way I think about things. Like, what is the point of this? But I know that most people aren't thinking about like the ripple effects. They're just thinking about the rock hitting the water. Yeah. And it's like, so I think that like, yeah, bro, if it has to be like me, then yeah, let's fucking do it. Because if it'll spill to somebody else, because we have people like FD Signifier, we have Deja Sade's, like, who makes like extremely well thought out content on YouTube. We have Justin Scott, who's like a pure black intellectual, like a fucking teacher, but he's a wizard of how he outputs information. I think that there needs to be a wave and a renaissance of like black thought and black intellectualism. And if I'm the chosen front runner for that, then so be it. But I'm just hoping that there's going to be plenty that come beside me and behind me. You know what I mean?
A few things. One, I haven't seen the stage police stuff. I would love if you could send me some of that. I have no clue what you're talking about. That's crazy. What?
Yeah, it's odd, bro, and it's so clearly staged. But people are in the comments like, "This is so fucked up. What about it? Like he's abusing power." I'm like, no, this is fake. No. Like, first of all, like cops don't even look like that. Like even the people that they're playing cops. Like, yeah, it's clear, but whatever.
That's crazy. But no, I think what you're doing is great because there's a lot of people who I feel like who haven't been exposed to just like critical thought almost watching you. And I say that because I've seen people who I feel like aren't the brightest people following you. And I was like, this is a good start for them.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, I feel like you're damn near niggas like you know how niggas be like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people be like, man, the first time I really started getting like pro black stuff, I read Malcolm X autobiography. I feel like you hear a lot of niggas say that.
Yeah.
Niggas,
Alex Haley did like a real service for the community with that book, because
yeah,
you need like an usher into intellect. Like, you need somebody to usher you into that thing.
yeah,
And like, if it has to start low, like, first of all, Malcolm X autobiography isn't like, for that to be the entry point is a great thing, because that's like a redemption arc.
yeah,
So it takes people that are maybe in like fucked up situations or making bad decisions, or and like more so becoming like statistics in the system. It shows them that like there's a possibility that you can reform yourself with information.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Ideology too, but more than anything, it's like knowledge of self. You know what I mean?
I feel like what works with you is that you look like just somebody that people probably know. It's like, oh, he got dreads, he black. Like, he don't look too, like, you don't have an unattainable. Like, I feel like sometimes scholars can be too unobtainable for people. It's like the language that they're using, the way that they have on like expensive suits. And it's like, I can't relate to this at all. But then they hear you talk. It's like, damn, he sound like somebody I know. He looked like somebody I know. It's like, damn, I could listen to this because this is more obtainable than me trying to listen to freaking Neil deGrasse Tyson or somebody. It's just too unobtainable. I feel like you have an obtainable image. Like, you're from this, you have like a southern accent. It's like, damn, this nigga, he won us. You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
He won us, but he's smarter than us. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like what you're doing is a great thing for young black people, because I would assume most of your, well, I'm pretty sure you have like older black people, but a lot of young black people are tapped in with you. So I feel
they
like,
fuck with me for sure.
so I feel like the youth tapping in with you is a beautiful thing and a beautiful direction for black people.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
Hey man, I'm happy to do it though, bro. Like, I just feel like I'm 34, bro. So it's like your big cousin just like putting you on game real quick.
Yeah.
But then like, to the crazier thing is what the reach is though, because there is a lot of young black people, but there's also like black people my age. But the thing that surprises me is like the 40 plus crowd, like the 40 and 50s that like watch my show with their kids. You know what I mean? And it shifts their perspective on their kids, because this is their kid. Like, bro, watch this podcast with me. And it's something they can understand too. But I'm also attacking like ideas that, or maybe certain mind frames that they've been possession, where we're not like, I'm not trying to like call people wrong. I'm just saying like change your perspective. Like, that's it. Like, because I understand the easiest thing for me to do is to understand why you think like that. Now, it takes a lot of knowledge and information on my behalf to come to the conclusion where I know why you think like this. So let's just do like a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of understanding, and like also too, yeah, bro. Like I am you, bro. Like, I was driving trucks up until like 2 months ago. You know what I mean? Like, I've been a blue collar worker. I've been holding it down the job since I was like 15. I done been in the streets. I done been to jail. I done sold drugs. I done did drugs. Every motherfucking angle you want to take this shit, I done pretty much been there. You know what I mean? And I think that it creates a large amount of empathy for me, because it's like, if I can get to this place, then like there's nothing stopping you from getting here either. We also know that there are some people that are just too far gone, but we can't worry about the people that are going to be left behind. We have to like really focus in on the people that can latch on to these ideas and ideologies and bring them with us. And I think, like, to your point, there's a certain classism that comes with academia. And that's just some worldly shit though. Like, that's the way that it's propped up. You know what I mean? Like, the idea of Ivy League is like, we're in these prestigious colleges, and is the education better? Maybe because they can afford to buy the best. Buy is crazy, but pay the best professors. You know what I mean? Like, world renowned, like real experts. Maybe with the prestige of the name, there's a willingness for people who are intellectual internationally to come here. You know, things like this. So, it has a lot more allure to it, but it also has like a dollar attached to it. You know what I mean? Like, there's a price tag on it. And there's a legacy attached to it as well. And that legacy deeply rooted in whiteness. So I think that for Black people, even though like we have historically in this country and just as a people in general, like throughout human history, leaned a lot heavily into intellect and academia, as far as the creation of the university itself. But I think there's an intimidation that comes along with it now, and then there's also a generation of like people who dropped out of school to sell drugs. Just honestly, you know what I mean? Like, so we're on the back end of that shit, and I got caught up in that shit. And I think that the further we get away from that, the more people are going to lean into this. And I think that the truth is like the people who are of a similar mindset, a person like yourself as well, is just going to have to be more forward facing. Like, no, we need to highlight more intellectual Black people and creative Black people and people that are doing things outside of like what's been deemed as Black folk shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like, you know, when we go back to like the intellectuals or more specifically like the Ivy League people or whatever, what they miss sometimes, and I feel like a true level of intellect. I just said this in that FT Signifier interview. If somebody's really smart, you should be able to take a very complex topic and simplify it for the person that doesn't know anything about it. So if you're going to tell me about, I don't know, some surgery or whatever, and I don't know anything about the heart, I don't know anything about the valves and all of this, so please explain it to me like I'm 5 years old and you know how to do that. But then you can also explain that to one of your peers who understands everything. So I feel like being able to do that is an art and a skill. And that's why I feel like a lot of people come to you, because when I listen to you talk, you'll talk about like a complex Black topic or whatever. But the way you talk about it, my little cousin can understand it. I can understand it. The smart person can understand it. And that's a true level of intellect to take these complex topics and kind of simplify them.
Correct. I mean, you know, shout out to my kids. You know what I mean? Like, I think that so the thing like with my kids is like I lean into the understanding of like how I understand things, which is like when things that my parents were saying to me young started clicking for me as I got older, then I was like, oh, I could just go ahead and get ahead of this now. Mm-hmm. So like all the concepts that I would want them to know at 16, I can tell them at 8. I just have to understand how to tell them. And if I can't get them to understand it, then I don't understand it. Like, that's my way of thinking. And that's also some like Albert Einstein shit. Like, you know what I mean? If you can explain it to a child type shit. Yeah, it's just, you know, I think being able to simplify things, again, it eases people's insecurities around like information they may not be like privy to or previously have understood. If you give them a barrier entry, like I listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson, like I listen to a lot of like academics and scholars and lectures and listen to them talk about these things ad nauseum, bro. But I understand that shit. I know the average person does not. So it's like, also I used to be a rapper and shit too. So it's like metaphors, similes, things like that, like analogies, that shit just comes natural to me. So it's like I'm using everything I've gained up until this point to kind of like pour into these complex topics, and it's fucking working. So I'll just keep doing it. You know what I'm saying?
No, and it's sometimes like some people are so smart that they can, like for example, Neil deGrasse Tyson. I remember one time there was like a mass shooting or something. He went on Twitter. Let's say it was like 30 people that died. He said something like, I don't remember what exactly he said, but it was essentially like, hey, when you really think about it, like 30 a small number.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So you know, the thing is like I retweeted that because he's right.
Oh, you remember that? You
remember that? Because he's right. Like,
what did he say? I forget.
Well, he was like in the scope of like what our human population is and like how isolated this event is. This really means nothing.
Yeah.
But I think that because if you look at it like even if the population of America is what like 600 million, something like that, 600, 700, like 300 million. If we took 320 million, that's what it is. If there's 320 million and 30 people die, I was like, is that crazy? Is that crazy?
I'm not gonna. I hard disagree with this. I got a hard.
No. Now the lack of empathy there, yeah, that's crazy. You know, to lack empathy at that point. But it's like this is what I be saying. To not understand where he's coming from is but it's like he's devoid. He's a fucking scientist.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not rocking with this. I'm gonna tell you why I'm not rocking with this. I'm not rocking with this.
No, we don't have to rock with it. I'm not like hard sold on it either.
But
it's just like I get it.
I'm gonna tell you why that I will rock with it, because he said that maybe like an hour after it happened.
Right.
Nigga,
Right.
wait later, my nigga.
No, you gotta let that breathe, though. You can't say it 30 minutes after that.
It's like this. You know how we niggas make jokes about Abe Lincoln getting shot? Nigga, none of them niggas alive anymore. We could joke about that. Nigga can't joke about, nigga, if my little brother just got shot 2 minutes ago and you be like,
I mean, it's just one nigga though.
Yeah, my brother, one person. No, nigga.
No. I think objectively speaking, it's like he's right. But like on a human level, like my nigga, relax.
And I feel like that's super important because, like you said, if you look at it from like a grand scope of things, 30 is very less than 300.
Yeah. But like now ain't the time to conceptualize that, my nigga. Somebody's like, this child is dead.
And they don't teach that in schools. Like they don't teach human interactions in schools unless you're like studying like, you know, like counselor or stuff like that or whatever.
Word.
That's that.
Well, I think so. Like, I don't think that we realize like how fucking new this thing is, right? Like what we're doing right now was like NASA shit 40 years ago. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? Like this is like, nigga, this would cost like $1 million to do just this interaction. So I think that we're like undermining how new it is, and like we're humans, bro. We're gonna go through the ebbs and flows. We have to find a center. And we haven't found a center with this shit yet. So the reality is like I said, we have all of these people. Neil deGrasse Tyson is not the person that should speak on mass shootings. You know what I'm saying? But like everybody has access to this opinion. So I think that there's an aspect of like, bro, do you know how easy it is to fire off a tweet? Like that shit takes no time. It's like sending out a text message. So the impulse of it, okay, like if you wanted to record a well-made video, I mean, it doesn't really take much time now to produce like a quality video that's suitable for social media either. But it takes a lot more time than fucking firing off a tweet. You know what I mean? So like, especially like academic that's like really tapping keys. Like I can't type for shit, but like somebody that's what they do, they could do that in like literally 5 seconds. So it's like there's no like barrier for like to like rectify that impulse. Like niggas is just impulsive. Like, man, there's just 30 people. Like, hey Neil, it's been an hour, dog. Like, I know that your timeline, like I know you want to get back to science, my nigga, but like, hey, maybe right now is the time for like thoughts and prayers, and like let's be empathetic towards the fact that somebody just lost their fucking baby. You know what I'm saying? But it's like we're all trying to figure out. Everybody has their lane, you know what I mean? So like if it's like, okay, Neil, this isn't astrophysicism or it's like anything scientific, let's let you stay the fuck out of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But same thing goes for mad different topics, like hella different topics. You know what I mean? So I got niggas, I know niggas that are like, and you know what I'm saying? Shout out my druggies, bro. Like I fuck with druggies. It is what it is. Former druggie. Love you. But I don't want to hear your like socio-political opinions, and I know that you like are addicted to Oxycontin. Like I know you are.
Yeah.
And like this is what you do daily. Yeah, man. Maybe not right now. Maybe let's get clean, because maybe you have a great opinion, but your mind is clouded right now, my nigga. Like you in the throes of addiction. Maybe right now ain't the time for your opinion. Like, you know what I'm saying? How about we get clean and then we come back to the socio-political climate? You know what I'm saying? But it's just like everybody can just throw their hat in the ring right now. So it just gets a little weird. You know what I mean? So hopefully more voices, you know, humbly like mine, cut through the bullshit and people can actually have honest dialogue.
Yeah. That's not funny, but that's funny to think about a nigga like on crack really thinking he's spitting something. Bro, I don't want to hear you're a crackhead. It's like, bro, I'm really talking to us. Like,
no, I'm really this because it's the euphoria. Like, like, I'm cooking, bro. I'm cooking. Have you ever been in a room sober with drunk people?
All the time. I don't drink, so yeah.
Okay, so then you know the passion, the self-assuredness of like a drunk idea.
hate it so much.
It's the most annoying thing in the world. It's almost like, you know what? Just give me a drink. Like, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Bro,
this is
the
suffering.
The one thing about being sober, I hate being around drunk people or people that's because I don't do drugs at all. So when I'm around people that's doing something,
man.
Hey man, I try, man.
No,
So,
it's tough out here. It's tough out here.
Hey,
know
I
what I'm saying?
Because like you said, bro, not to get all deep, but like addiction runs in my family. My auntie was on drugs. Like my very close family members was on drugs. So I thank God it missed me. That I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't even want to play with it because I'm like, shoot, I might like it a little too much. You know what I'm saying?
You might got that gene, bro. It's just some real shit.
You know
what I'm saying? It's like everything else, bro. There's only literally two paths. Yeah. So it's like you either become like when you're that close to a situation, you either become the person that never will touch drugs, or you get triggered and you end up going on the path. It's a familiar path anyway. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, fuck, man. I mean, I was able to reel it in, like, whoa, all right, nigga, things are getting out of control.
Not everybody could do that.
Right.
Not everybody could do that. You know what I'm saying? But you said something that I super agree with and think about all the time when you're talking about like it's kind of social media being new and you just fire off a tweet or whatever. Bro, there's been so many people that I view as like the realest niggas of all time pull out their phone and start yelling at their phone like on Instagram live or something. And it's like, bro, you're not supposed to be doing this.
Yeah, that's
but like you said, I think about it all the time because I'm like, it's so easy. It's never been more easy to pull out your phone and express. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so crazy. Like I remember you ever heard of the rapper named Chica?
Yeah.
So Chica, I remember, I don't know if you remember this happened like maybe 2 years ago or maybe last year. She was on a plane and I guess a baby was crying throughout the whole trip. And she tweeted out like, man, this dumb bitch baby need to stop crying, going crazy or whatever. And niggas was like, why are you calling the baby a bitch? And
Oh God, yeah. And like also like that's not in alignment with like the type of music you make.
Oh no, I'm not gonna lie. Hey, shout out. No, that's not. I think Chica's a terrible person. From everything I've seen from Chica, I think Chica, I don't know her, but I've seen enough to make the judgment. I remember.
Oh, it's on brand? All right, word.
This is the first thing I'm gonna tell you the first thing I ever seen to Chica. Somebody was I guess you can't quantify how somebody gonna come back, but somebody was roasting her on Twitter, like, man, your music trash, da da da. Her response was somebody had like a picture of like their baby who just died, like my daughter. She took that picture and made a side by side with a skeleton. It was like, this your baby right now. And it's a black baby. I'm like, you're corny. You're corny. So
that's horrible.
I don't think she likes kids.
Yeah, I think she may be anti-child. Like that's just what it is. And we got to dig into that.
So I'm gonna tell you how crazy it got though. So she cursed out the baby on Twitter. Come to find out, the baby is the granddaughter of a famous Atlanta rapper.
Oh wow.
T.I.
Oh, so she's cursing out T.I.'s granddaughter.
Yes. So T.I. daughter or stepdaughter Zanique or whatever, it was her daughter, and she was like, what is this? Like she going crazy, like, what is this? So they ready to fight her. Everybody get mad at her, and then she tweet out one of the funniest like things where I'm just like, shut up. She was like, I needed to tweet that for my mental health. She was like, I was literally contemplating jumping off a bridge if I didn't tweet that out.
Yeah, but you was nowhere near a bridge. Hey, here's another thing too. We all have those thoughts.
Yeah, keep them.
Yeah, you just gotta log them.
Write them in your notes.
Or type it out and just don't send it. Put it in the draft. Yeah. Just give yourself 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's the thing. Like, you can load up the gun and you can still put the safety on.
Yeah.
So load that gun, load it, and then hit the safety and see how you feel in 5.
Yeah.
Because maybe you just needed to text that out. Maybe you just needed to get that off. Also, too, like, do you not have friends?
I thought the same thing. Put in the group chat.
Yeah, holla at the homies like, hey, I fucking hate kids. And I'm guarantee you, as shitty as a person as you are, one of your friends agree. And then y'all can go on the like, we hate kids rant. But like to tweet that, it's insane.
I'm anti-Chica. This is an anti-Chica channel right here. So
I don't have a dog in the fight, so it's like it's all good.
But no, yeah. So but go back to the original point. It is so easy to just take this out and just like she did, or even worse, going on Instagram Live and going on video. It's like it's just too easy to do that right now.
There's
And
proof. There's like I have like literal proof of this. Like, hold on. Can I mirror?
can I? Oh, I didn't mean do that. I try to make you the bigger
No,
one.
I have
What
to.
am I doing?
I have to take the mirror off. How do? Okay. Look at my last tweet.
Hold on, let me do it like this. There we go. Put it up a little bit more. Like raise it up a little bit. You might have to read that one out. Or if you, let's see. Sometimes I just want to see your titties physically. Is that what that says?
Platonically.
Platonically.
But that's just a thought.
Yeah.
Turn on top. Boop, 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 gone. And it's like,
I don't have no homework.
No homework? All right.
Because I got field day tomorrow.
Oh, great. Well, I'll be there. So.
Mom, you and mommy and me gonna go together.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so excited, Daddy. I love you.
I love you too.
What a moment to have right after reading that tweet, right?
Right.
Moments after reading that.
I mean, hey, man. See, the duality of man, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
They shout to you for being a father, man. You know what
Nah,
I'm
for
saying?
sure.
Like, was that a girl?
Yeah, that's my baby girl, Emery.
She sounded so excited to talk to her daddy. Like, no, that warm. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not. I might sound like I'm being hypocritical. I'm not. I'm anti-chica. I don't really like kids either. I don't really like kids either. Though I don't want kids. But when I see people being like fathers and mothers, I'm like salute, because that's not easy. And that's why I don't want it. I'd rather be selfish, because I know I can't be selfish if I got a kid.
Hey man, bro, it's much better to just be selfish without the kids than to be selfish with them.
Yep, sir.
It's actually commendable. You know what I mean? Like that's a level of self-awareness most people don't possess. I was wondering, like, wow, I look weird. Put that mirror back on. Yeah. All right, we back. We back. Soundboard right.
Soundboard on his fire. That's hard.
Yeah, man. Get the whole podcast set up right here. Like, it's my thing, bro. It's where I be at.
That's hard. But no, yeah. The phone is crazy. I'm super. I don't know if there's any studies done on that, like on just like people.
It's just too early.
Yeah,
it's too early, man. I mean, think about this. Like, it's 2025. Facebook was like really popping in 2008. Yeah. So we're not even like 20 years into like the peak of Facebook. And then also too, like Facebook is like an old head app to us now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if you're still on Facebook, it's like, what the fuck? Like you small town ass nigga. Like that's how I look at Facebook. Like this is your small town.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I knew we would have such great conversation that I only wrote down one note in my phone for this interview that I wanted to bring up, and we haven't talked about it. I'm gonna see if you can read my screen real quick.
Okay, cool. I hate YNT. Yeah, man, I hate that shit.
So let me get it. That's literally the only thing I wrote down, because I was like, I don't feel like I need anything else, but I want to make sure if I ain't talk about nothing, I wanted to talk about this. So can I start it up, and I'm gonna pass it to you and
handle your business, dog. Handle your business. It feels good to be amongst like minds.
So, because I feel like we're in the minority of this, where not a lot of people would agree with this, because you see it used so often with the whole YN thing. So, for starters, my homeboy kind of educated me. He was like, people started saying YNs because it's censored on TikTok. You can't say nigga on TikTok, so people just say stuff like that or put the ninja emoji. I'm like, okay, I didn't know that. So I'm like, okay, why are people saying it in real life though? Like, why are people just like actually verbalizing it? So I started to think about it, and I seen a video of like some kids playing football. It was like no older than like 7-year-old kids, and they're just playing football. And it was like, man, these YNs like these YNs crazy. I'm like, damn, why we can't just call the young black boys, like the young black brothers is, you know what I'm saying, playing some good football? Like, why we gotta call them some young niggas? And I was like, are we going to get to the point where we're gonna start calling 7-year-old girls YBs? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that going to be a next thing that happens? So I just feels like it's super reductive to just call young black kids who aren't even doing thuggish shit. It'd be like just a young black boy. He ain't even thugging. He just young and black. Why is he YN? Like, I don't know. I hate it so much.
I think so. The thing is, like, yeah, I knew what the incarnation was because I'm like heavy on TikTok. So like that's like kind of where I got my start. So I know like there's parameters that you have to operate in. You have to censor yourself, right? Cool. I can say nigga. So I'm not abbreviating it.
Yeah.
Also too, it's just like we do need to get to a place where we are calling young men. You know, not putting nigga on them. But I understand it in the context of like language and lingo. I don't understand it in the context of like when I start seeing white people and Asian people and Hispanic people say YN, that's where you lose me. That's where I'm lost. Where the fuck are we at? Because it's like you might as well just say N-word. Like that's like basically what you're doing, because it's like the abbreviation is like a barrier for entry for niggas to be racist. That's my idea behind it.
Yeah.
I feel like with black people specifically, especially young people, they're chronically online. I mean, as am I, but I don't use the internet for language.
Yeah.
So they adopt lingo, like, okay, how we would regionally have lingo, like you just said jit earlier, which means you what, from Florida, right?
Yes, sir.
So regionally, I understand lingo. Now we're using the internet as like our region, and we're siphoning we're siphoning language from that shit, and that shit is ignorant as fuck. Like, first of all, like anything a white person is saying, I'm probably not saying. You know what I mean? Like anything they adopt as like hip and cool is usually like outdated AAVE, or like something that people have just said to abbreviate. Now they're like using it out of context, whatever. But it's also like there's this fascination with the word nigga, where it's like this it's like the forbidden fruit for white people and for other like people of color, where it's like I just have to say it. Like they say it all the time. Like, yeah, but like, hey, for some of our ancestors, it was the last thing they heard before they died. So how about we fucking relax? You know what I mean? Like, how many people heard that word last before they were hung from a tree or shot in the fucking face or anything like that, or being chased down, being called that? You know, there's no connection. That word in its essence is deeply connected to trauma for us. I do understand the rewiring of the brain where you hear something so much about yourself, you adopt it. So I really don't have a problem with the word nigga. I do have a problem with other people using it in abbreviated terms. I do have a problem with labeling our young men as that solely when they are much more.
And like
YNs in education now, like, bro, shut the fuck up. Shut up, or a nigga punch you in your face, like straight up, like
a nigga remedial or something.
Yeah, no, but it's kind of, people are kind of like becoming dumber. Like Idiocracy, I couldn't finish that movie because it was a little scary. Like I was like, this is repulsive. Like this level of stupidity is repulsive to me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's so interesting. Like you said, like the YNs in education. It's like these black people reading books. Like, oh my god,
but that's what it feels like, and it feels like there's no expectation of anything great to come from young black people.
Man, it's so interesting because you know, I go back and forth on the N-word. I probably say nigga too many times a day. Like I use it a lot. I use it a lot.
Go look at like 10 clips of mine. I'm letting that bitch fly. I'm letting it fly.
I'm letting it fly as well.
I'm with my best friend and I'm talking to niggas, so it's like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't really care.
I go back and forth on it because one, like you said, white people shouldn't, or whoever shouldn't be using that word, like, you know what I'm saying, at all. And it should be enough to just say, hey bro, if it offends somebody, just don't say it. Like just in general,
there's an arrogance that comes along with like dealing with black people, where niggas feel like they just can. It's like, who are you to tell? Like you're here to be stolen from, nigga. You're here solely for me to siphon.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you talking about? Like your thoughts and your feelings for? That's like, the way that it's viewed.
If I told you it's disrespectful, just take it as that. Like if I went up to, like if I went up for a white person's daughter and say, get out, like a 7-year-old, get out of my way, you stink, bitch. Or you're just gonna be like, oh yeah, it's words, it's whatever. It's like, no, you're going to take that as disrespect because
let's start getting that off.
Tell Chica, I'm pretty sure Chica do.
Let's get start a movement. Just start calling white children bitches.
And then think about it. If the daddy don't do nothing, now low key that daughter's internalizing like, well, that's fine for like men to just come up me and call me bitch. It's like, is there a
And then
precedent
she's
not
going
to
to
do
start
that?
calling herself a bitch.
You know what I'm saying? So then that's where I go with the N-word thing, where I go back and forth personally, where I'm like, even though nigga is like probably one of the most catchiest words of all time, and I use it a lot, and it puts emphasis on stuff, and it's funny when you say it sometimes, I'm like, it would be kind of cool if like, because I look at a lot of documentaries, I'm very infatuated of the time period of the black people of black people of black people
Of the blacks.
of the blacks from like the late 60s to like the 70s, because that seemed to be a point where, and then you got the Harlem Renaissance where they were super positive, but black people was really trying to like be
No,
positive and
black
love
people was
them,
on, yeah,
you
it was
know,
a real movement. Like,
and they were calling each other, hey king, hey queen, hey God, hey this, you know, and it's like damn, we were from calling each other kings to queens to just everybody a nigga, and it's like, yes, we reclaimed the word or whatever, but it's like, damn, the most interesting thing to me is that we've made a negative word positive, and a word like hotep. Do you know what the word hotep actually means?
I do. I've watched Lil Bill and like FD explain this to it ad nauseum, but go
Have
ahead.
they? That's interesting. Hotep means peace. And we've bastardized those words that if a nigga hotep, that's a bad thing.
Okay, but let me explain to you why.
Okay.
Okay. So this is also an issue that I have, because I would love nothing more than to call men and women kings and queens.
Mhm.
But all the people who tend to do that tend to scam.
You're not wrong.
So it's like it usually comes on the back end of like niggas, the positive affirmations turn into like pickpocketing. And then so it leaves a bad taste in people's mouth. And also too, it's like there is an idea of like toxic positivity.
Mhm.
I think back then everybody was on code. You know,
Yeah.
we all lived in the same neighborhoods. We all like our culture was like extremely rich and to ourselves.
Yeah.
So king and queen is like, you know, that's amazing, you know, especially in this Jim Crow South, and especially like in the peak of the civil rights movement and the Black Panthers, and then like peak like black intellectualism. I'm always gonna bring up James Baldwin. Like, I don't think enough people have read his books. That motherfucker is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Nikki Giovanni. You have all these like great thinkers. You know what I mean? Then you have like these great movements. It makes sense because we kind of existed not only publicly with these movements, but like privately in echo chambers of culture.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. But now I can have all the great intentions for people, and I can call you a queen, and then like your most popular it girl can be like, "Ew, nigga, don't call me queen," and that's cooked. That's cooked.
Yeah.
That's all she wrote for queen. But then when niggas call you a bitch, it's like I'm seeing niggas get that off. Like I'm seeing you get it off. Like that's the crazier part too. Is like I see you get that off.
Yeah.
I'm conflicted about it. Nigga and bitch is like, it's an odd way for us to address each other, but we've like numbed ourselves to like residing in that space. And black people have this thing about like inflection, tone, and intention in our language in AAVE, where it's like we know whether it can be deemed as disrespectful or not based on how it's said. But I don't know if our brain, I don't know if like the brain that like controls how we feel about ourselves can differentiate those things. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it definitely is a conversation that needs to be had. I've even like said it to myself, like maybe I shouldn't say nigga as much, like, because if I was in the room with, you know, a James Baldwin, I probably wouldn't rock out with that word. Like I probably wouldn't go crazy with the nigga. Like probably wouldn't go hard. Like probably wouldn't even if I was in the room with like Dr. Umar or 19 Keys, I probably would like dial it back some, just because I understand like respecting their presence as well. But it's like, okay, well then if I lean that into my personal life, maybe if that's where my mind goes, then maybe I need to do some self-correction on that. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, if I met Farrakhan, I wouldn't be like, my nigga.
Oh, nigga. Louis, the motherfucking honorable.
This honorable nigga right here.
Honorable nigga, man.
I probably wouldn't do that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, like I said,
it would be fucking hilarious. Like in a skit, it's funny. In reality, it's like the Fruit of Islam probably gonna
I
escort
was
you
just
out.
gonna say it's gonna be like 13 big NOI niggas to come and choke slam your ass.
I ain't gonna lie, like the Fruit of Islam, they are serious. You know what I mean? So
They're not playing. They're not playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's just interesting to look at the evolution of words and how a word like hotep, which meant positive thing, is now bad, and a word like nigga that was bad means good. It's just interesting.
yeah,
to see
because I'm
how
like
words
technically a
evolve.
hotel. Like technically.
Yeah, I mean, I still really don't know what it means today. I've always told myself, I'm like, this word, I see this word all the time. I have no interest even learning what it means. I just know that like when a nigga be too overly, I guess, I don't know, too, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I guess that's
Yeah, it's just like
yeah.
I'll tell you too, it's like, yeah, man, niggas is hotep niggas, like for whatever like that connotation is, it's like we know what that is.
Yeah.
But it's usually like niggas a little dirty. I mean, he trying to sell you something. You know what I'm saying? Like this isn't a person that like has their shit together, and is as much as like that shouldn't matter, it does because of where we live. Like classism is a big part of things. It also like equates a little too much to how much we respect people. So it's like, you know, there's a need for like upward mobility for most black people, especially black people that come from nothing. And whatever the wave of upward mobility tends to be, which for the last 40 years has been drug dealers, and scammers, and you know, people that like basically criminal activity, whatever those people are doing, whatever they say goes, and that's kind of spilled over into like everyday culture. And the waters are very muddy right now. You know what I mean? Very muddy. I think that there's an effort to kind of recalibrate, but it's going to take time. Just like it took time for us to get here, it's going to take time for us to advance too. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, before we get out of here, I do want to throw this out at you because you're talking about muddying the waters, and I feel like this has muddied it a lot. And this might be a hot take. I said this in my FD Signifier interview, so I'm curious of what you'll think about this. So you might disagree a little point, so just let me rock out. You know what I'm saying? And tell me how you feel. So I am from Jacksonville, specifically Florida, and Jacksonville is a very violent city. You know, I don't know if you remember the whole Who I Smoke when niggas was talking, making, you know, that's Jacksonville. So I look at Jacksonville and I look at Black Lives Matter. So I feel like you should be able to tell throughout this conversation, clearly not a coon. I appreciate people. I have to preface that before I say all this. I appreciate the injustices being solved with white people killing black people, cops killing black people, whatever. I'm a victim of police brutality myself, so I completely am for that. But the problem with Black Lives Matter, in my opinion, which we're talking about muddying the waters and like the progression of black people, is that they kind of forgot about the black people in the hood. I feel like those people in gangs, those people in just dealing with hood problems kind of gets forget about, and they only get brought up for agendas. Republicans bring them up so they could be like, what about all these black people kill each other? 13% of the nation, they lead the whatever. And then the Democrats would just be like, well, you kill who you live by or whatever. And it's like, okay, that's true, but my nigga, are we just going to just leave it up to that and just talk it up to that? It's like, or what about these babies that are dying? Like, are we going to address that and try to fix that? Or are we just going to chalk it up to they live by each other, so they kill each other? It's like, no, we need to do more. And that's why I specifically always, you brought up Fred Hampton. I always appreciate the Black Panthers because they were more community based and they were trying to squash beefs in the hood. They were trying to bring people together. Like, man, instead of shooting at a nigga, bro, you need to come with us. You know what I'm saying? You need to come and educate yourself. You know what I'm saying? Replace the gun with a book. Well, they ain't say replace the gun with a book, just add the book because you're gonna get the gun too at the same time. So you know what I'm saying? You're just gonna be shooting at different people now. So I say all that to say, I just feel like in this movement of this new just consciousness of like black people trying to like learn about themselves or whatever, we've really disregarded the people in the hood to just like almost statistic the same way white people do. And I feel like it's not good.
And well, my brother, you are extremely right. The thing is this. Here's the thing. as gentrification and advances, and we move further and further away from people growing up in the, proverbial hood, you also have people who have caricaturized hood people. They have no interaction with them. They don't know their thought processes. They haven't been to their neighborhoods. They haven't had conversations with them. So these people are characters and ideas in their heads and in their mind. They think about them the same way a white Republican thinks about them. They think these are like mindless savages. So there's a fear of going somewhere and being met with confrontation and aggression. Where there's also like you said, there's this statistic of like this statistical mentality of like, they're going to kill each other anyway. Let me reach the niggas that are well-to-do, more middle class. Let me save the ones who can be saved. And they view people in the hood and poor people as lost causes. There's also an aspect of this that some black people need black people to exist on a plane below themselves. I can't. I'm mediocre. If I bring these people up to my level, then I become average. But there's also another thing of like this outside looking in type vibe too, where it's like they don't feel like they belong there either. So there's a classism that comes with like black progression these days, even more so often, where we talk about like what we talked about before, me giving people a barrier of entry to intellect. That comes from me not being afraid of hood people and actually like really embracing the hood and like fucking with them, because I'm not from the fucking projects and no shit like that, but I grew up in an all black neighborhood, like working class, like black neighborhood of multiple classes of black people at play at once, because it's like a traditional old guard. We live amongst ourselves, so you would know who had what in my neighborhood based on what they drove and how they home looked.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But the barrier of entry was like, if you can maintain this home, then you have a good middle class home. Yeah. If you own this motherfucker, you're gonna renovate it and you're gonna personalize it and you're gonna drive a nice car. If you want drugs or you sell drugs, there's a certain look to your house too. But there's a blueprint and a template for all the homes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, I grew up in an environment where like I knew blackness wasn't a monolith. I never viewed, but also like there was no shunning of one or the other. Just because y'all got money don't mean we don't fuck with y'all, and don't mean y'all don't fuck with us. And the same thing goes for like, yeah, we know y'all got roaches, but we live here together. So like, we just not gonna come in your house. You know what I'm saying? But like, we'll kick it with you for sure. You can't come in my house neither, because my mama said that y'all be tracking roaches. Yeah. But I fuck with you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have to live in the parameters of adults too. But all the parents knew each other. Like, this is the type of neighborhood I grew up in. So then there's also this aspect where it's like there's a talking down to of poor black people. Like, this is you're the problem. You're degenerate. This is But like, when's the last time you ever had a conversation with one of these people? When's the last time like we have like these Greek organizations that have like all of these this D9 thing where they have like these conventions and it's all academic and they're all, but like, when the last time they ever been to the hood? When the last time they went over there and tried to like, do they recruit from those places? So like we talking about people that like don't give a fuck about poor people, period. You understand what I'm saying? So like we can say it's about being like this hood shit, but it's really more so a classism thing. And then there's also like, I have to have something to point at. You know what I mean? Like, it's oddly enough, it's like, if I can't point to you as being less than me, then it doesn't elevate me as black excellence. You know what I'm saying? So I think that my objective and goal too is to get down with the people that nobody else want to get down with. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that is what the Panthers did, like verbatim. Also too, go back into those movements, like no matter how popular you was, like it was coloreds only and whites only.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, even in segregation, we had a comfort around each other no matter what walks of life we came from. The idea of integration is an extremely liberal idea, but it also doesn't account for the fact that it accounts for the fact that I want to be upwardly mobile into white society. It doesn't account for the fact that some people aren't going to be able to mobilize that way. And actually it's going to make people more poor because now you're taking resources out of their neighborhood. It's an extremely complex issue, but it's also like very good that you brought it up because essentially we like the creativity that comes out the hood. We like the lingo that comes out the hood. We like the trends that come out the hood. We don't like the people. So whereas the hood is used to radicalize poor white people, racist white people in a way of look at these niggers, is used as a classist way of mobilizing black people that want to ascend in society as look at them niggas. So it's like kind of like two sides of the same coin if we really think about it. You know what I mean? Like we use sometimes we use our like most underrepresented and most underserved parts of our community as like fall guys for our ascension.
I mean, I would say literally, they will tell you like, hey, I mean, this is, I guess, it's smart technically, but like, shit, bro, if you got some hood niggas riding with you and you got the money, hey man, let that broke ass nigga be the fall guy. You know what I'm saying? You the breadwinner, which I'm not gonna lie. I mean, technically, you probably should do that because
logistically,
yeah,
like that guy got a family and shit too. You know what I'm saying? But like, if we're all here in agreement that we're breaking the law, then yeah, that's like a code thing. That's like an honor amongst thieves thing.
Yeah,
but also too, like, this is where we get into like this classism aspect as well. It's like if you have all the money and everybody else around you don't.
Yeah.
This is going to become a problem eventually.
Yeah.
Either for you or for them.
And like you said, I mean, I don't know if we all know this, but like integration like took like niggas like, oh, I don't gotta go shop at LeBron and them shop. No, I go to Walmart. Like finally, God, no. Yeah, I remember hearing a story.
So this is like dangling a biscuit in the face. Like
yeah.
Thing, and this idea of whiteness, this pristine, it's bullshit, but it is.
I remember hearing a story
deeply
about
psychological.
And like somewhere in the South, there was like a train company or a bus company where black people get on the bus. They couldn't get on the bus with white people. So like it was like a thriving bus company. After integration, that bus company was no more because black people was like, we don't got to get on this damn bus no more. We finna get on the main bus. So
well, I think there's also like a there's a two-part to that situation as well, where it's it was with integration, white businessmen viewed black companies as competition.
Yeah.
We need, like if they can sit in the same room, why wouldn't we get them as consumers? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So like there's a competitive aspect, and then there's let's talk about it like this. This is make it extremely simple. What's a popular like, fast food restaurant in Florida?
I mean, like specifically in Florida?
Yeah, just like us Florida specific. Like we all got something.
I would say that a very there's something in let's say everybody doesn't have Whataburger.
Okay, so perfect. So Whataburger is in Jacksonville, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's been going to Whataburger. Everybody knows what a Whataburger tastes like. Great. If they open a new Whataburger, that bitch is going to be slam packed just because it's new.
Mm-hmm.
The burgers don't taste the same. There is no new ingredients. There is no discounts. There is nothing. It's just new. Yeah. And so there's a psychological aspect of like newness. Mm-hmm. You know, like want to go into the Walmart's getting renovated. It goes from like being just clothes and like hardware to like now it's a super center and there's I gotta go get my groceries from there. It's new. This is just the deeply psychological aspect. I explain this to people all the time that intelligence utilizes like the best people, like the intelligence that is creating systemic like ploys to destroy us are they do it mentally. Yeah. So they employ the best sociologists, the best psychologists, the best anthropologists. They understand what makes motherfuckers twerk and tweak and like our little quirks and like how we operate in groups and like things that make us perk up. Like it's literally just marketing. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like even if it's unintentional, it plays into the idea of marketing that I'm not allowed in there. Yeah. So now that you like open up the floodgates for me to come, I'm gonna go to as many white establishments as I can get into.
Yeah.
And then we like also nigga, you were just pouring like creamer on my head because I was in this bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need to at the very least, I'm gonna have a meal here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's like something deeply psychological about it, but there's also like an idea of like we sometimes only look at what we have to gain and we don't look at what we're gonna lose.
Yeah.
And that is, and you can, and then there's also the inverse of that, where we go into situations pessimistically, where we only look at what we have to lose and not what we have to gain. So like we have to be operating, both of those engines have to be going at the same time. And like that's where I'm at with it, but the most people are relying on one engine or the other.
No, for sure. I mean, this is why I'm in school for what I'm in school for, because I am super duper interested in studying the mind and the brain. I'm in school for mental health stuff, like being a counselor or whatever.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
that's super duper interesting to me, just because, like you said, it's a lot of this is psychological stuff, even if it's like subconscious stuff. You're not even realizing, like you said, a lot of people not even realizing like why they are going to Walmart instead of the little shop that they was going to. You know what I'm saying? They need somebody else to tell them, and they're like, "Oh, that you're right. I am doing that." So I mean, yeah, that is completely true. And you know, I want to recommend a documentary to you before we get out of here, because I know you said you were trying to watch, you know, documentary. Get back to you, just learning bag.
Yeah,
Are you familiar? This came out last year. It's called A Soundtrack to a Coup d'Etat.
No, but
I was about to say let me,
yeah, send that to me.
because I was about to say there's no way you're gonna know how to spell d'etat. That's not even
Well, coup d'etat, I know what that is, nigga.
Hey, that's crazy. That's what that is. I've been saying it so that's exactly what that is. My dumb ass been reading as d'etat, but then I just realized that's how you say it's a coup.
A coup d'etat, yeah. Just like just overthrowing the government, basically.
I tried you on some shit. My dumb ass didn't even know what it meant.
Not as all good.
That's me. That's on me. Anyway. That's so
hey
funny.
Man, that was a good moment right there.
That's a great moment. That's good, because I'm like, my dumb ass don't know what it means. This nigga don't know what it means. He's like, oh, that's how you say that. I've been breaking it down as just d'etat for whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, but it's a cool. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's a movie about Are you familiar with the guy? I always say his last name wrong, so I don't even want to say it. I think it's Patrice Lumumba. I think.
Yeah, Patrice Lumumba. Yeah.
Okay, that's Patrice Lumumba. So it's a movie about essentially how, you know, what was going over there in the Congo and how they were, you know, whatever. But it's talking about how the American government used jazz musicians at that time unknowingly to like get comfy with the Congo to basically kill, bro. And it's super interesting. So they're like sending like Louis Armstrong and stuff, and basically trying to like, you know, hey guys, we're your friend, we're cool. And they don't like the musicians, they don't know what's going on. They just think, oh man, we with the black people, we perform with the black people. The whole time is like, we're trying to use you as like a front to really get in cool and kill, bro, which they essentially did. And the way that it's like edited with the music, it's super duper interesting. It is possibly, I would say, like one of my favorite documentaries I've ever seen in my life.
Oh well, fuck it, I'm on that because I have
really good
today. Yeah, this was all I had today. Right,
it was on YouTube. I was nominated for an Oscar. So what I did,
probably Amazon Prime.
I was about to say, so what I did, you can get, I think it's called like Kino Films. It is on there, and you get a free trial, like a 7-day trial. So you get it free. And that's what I did. So I did a little free 7-day trial, canceled it immediately, watched it, was amazed. So if you type it in, I'm pretty sure you'll see how to watch it. But it's this one thing called Kino Films. And when I mean like you will leave that like learning things, like, oh, that's crazy. Like Dizzy Gillespie ran for president. I didn't know that. I thought that was interesting. It's super duper interesting stuff. So yeah, I would definitely check that out. A soundtrack to a coup d'etat.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm gonna check that out right now.
There you go.
Can you just?
I got you. I'm gonna send to you. I'm about to say, yeah. Just email me your number so we stay in contact. I'm gonna definitely text that to you. You know, I told this to what's the name too. You want to know something crazy? This blew my mind. I was asking FT Signify. I was like, have you ever found out something that you was like, whoa, I didn't know anything about this, rather if it's a song or a movie or a news event. And this was the one thing that got me a few years ago. I'm gonna read you this. I'm gonna say the stat that I read in school. We had listened to a podcast about it. It was that in the last 10 years, 1,500 slaves were free in Florida. Past 10 years. When I say that, what do you think? Before I explain it.
I don't know what to think. That's kind of like throwing me off right now.
Well, it seems like your mind is blown just like my mind was.
Yeah,
blown.
that's not like I can't conceptualize that.
So we're not talking about like jail or anything like that. I mean,
well, yeah, that's my first mind went to jail, but then it's like it's way more than 15.
We mean actual slaves.
We're talking about like chattel slaves.
So we're talking about mostly Hispanic people and Haitian women have been slaves in this city called Immokalee, Florida. So
Immokalee. Immokalee is it's called Immokalee, and it's like an hour away from Naples.
Yeah.
I actually I was a supervisor in a warehouse in Naples, and Immokalee is like a big agricultural space.
Yeah.
And the people that are from there are like, goddamn, they're living rough. Like we used to contract people from different spaces to like work in the warehouse temporarily, like temp jobs and shit. And it's like something's wrong with the water. That was the vibe that I got from them. Like, not that it's just like the way that they think.
Yeah.
They had like kind of like a hive mentality. It was off-putting for me. But I just say that's my point of reference for Immokalee. So yeah.
This nigga an Immokalee expert. I ain't expect that at all. Nigga, I've been saying Immokalee for the past 4 years. Nigga, so the fact you even know how to say it.
I didn't know what it was either, and I asked them. Well, they kept saying it. I was like, "Is that shit that I always see on signs?" Like, yeah, nobody know how to pronounce that shit.
So yes, so Immokalee, Florida, and you saying agriculture is gonna make a lot of sense. What I'm gonna say. So they are tomato pickers. So essentially, they'll see like an undocumented worker or whatever, be like, "Hey man, you need a job? Yeah. Hey, I got something going on in my house. You can like help me. You can live there if you want to, whatever." They're like, "Oh, bet." So they take them back and they literally enslave them and they force them to pick tomatoes. And
so to further this, that I have experience with this. So when I was driving trucks, we would go to different places in Florida, especially during like harvest months. Mostly like you said, tomatoes, oranges, watermelon. Watermelon was really big. And you would get like truck fulls of watermelon, right? But you would drive to these places that are in the middle of fucking nowhere in Florida. So like there's this idea that Florida is like this thin spot, and it's like there's no land and it's all beach, but there are like deep rural spots in Florida. Like, what the fuck? Where am I at? And there's nothing but agriculture for miles. And then you drive into these spaces, and like that's what you see. You see undocumented workers just like picking things like that. But there's another aspect of it too, that all of them have like these tiny row houses that are like literally like hotel rooms, like in size, right? But people live there, and they live there because they work in the fields and shit like that. So then it's just like, oh shit, was I rolling up? And like there's a possibility that like I directly interacted, because like also those people won't talk to you. Like the people that work, they won't talk to you. And then there's always like a white forward-facing people like that are like, no, you talk to us. Like, you deal with us, and we'll tell you where to go and where to park. Don't interact. Ooh, it's like odd. It was always odd. The dynamic is odd. Not even being funny. You were talking to some slave masters. Real shit. So there was like, God damn it, he has documentation. It was an interview with one of the people that escaped, and they said they tried to escape before, and they got caught. And they got beat so bad, he had to learn how to walk again. Jesus Christ. They're doing stuff like that. And I'll leave you with this. This was the quote that blew my mind. And this ain't just in Florida. They say this is nationwide. They said if you've ever eaten a tomato in the wintertime, you've eaten a tomato picked by a slave. That was like the district attorney of Florida or something like that. I was like, that's crazy. So yeah. Well, what a way to conclude. If anyone wants to do research on that, just Google tomato Florida slave or something along those lines, and you'll see that it's a very big thing that they've been trying to, cut down on. But wow stuff. I appreciate. I mean, great way to conclude the interview with like modern day slavery. Like
actually,
real full circle.
let's leave this on an upbeat note, man. And this is a crazy transition. But who you been listening to, man? What music you been listening to lately, man?
El Cousteau.
My boy, man. That's my
yeah.
boy. I was just
El
with
Cousteau,
him.
yeah.
I was just with him last week. Shout out to El Cousteau.
Swear to God, bro.
No, that's like one of the more like that's like. Hold, let me go on my page real quick. If you go on my page right now,
I literally just DM him and asked him to interview him, and he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "I'm gonna be in DC on like June 22nd." He was like, "Let's do it." So I was like, "Bro, I've been listening to El Cousteau like." Honestly, it's like it's getting to a point of brain rot where it's like my STEM music too.
That's my guy.
I just be in the oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I just be walking around the house all day like I get a pussy when the head ain't enough.
Bro, his voice is the best, bro. You
know, this niggas. I like the thing that I've told. I was trying to put my boy on it. Like he always looking for new music, but he's also like weird, like me. Like he has to be in a space. So I'm like I'm putting it in the notes. I can't compare him to anybody.
He's one of the best rappers alive right now, bro.
All right, yo, I wasn't trying to be inflammatory, my nigga, but
he
like
needs to be a star. No,
bro, I listened to Redline literally for 2 hours straight this morning.
I would say hot outside. What do you say? Hot outside, tank top on, shit getting sand. bro, that song is he performed that, so it was a concert where
I'm in a full Sergio Tashini sweatsuit. I'm on Northeast getting money, nigga. I was like,
best, bro.
Bro, best. That nigga's dope as fuck. It's like also too. There are like certain rappers that exist just for like, I don't know how to explain it. Like you really have to love this shit to fuck with this shit. This nigga is like my MF Doom right now. Like. It's like I don't want to gatekeep this nigga, but like, god damn, he's good. And it's like the average person is not, because like he raps very unorthodox, but his voice carries. And then there's like a little bit of like OG Mako energy in there, of like some turned up shit. But then also like the Brown Paper Bag song with Mike, he was fucking blacking on that shit. Like that nigga could get in a real rap bag, but he be with real rappers and it's like actual like respected lyricists and shit. Yeah, man, I don't want to. Yeah, nigga.
He's that guy, bro. Like, so the concert that I went to, it was him, it was Mike, it was a nigga named Deante, and a nigga named Sideshow. And all four of those niggas make really great music. And I was just chilling with them the whole time. And like every time, like I'm just like, bro, you know, y'all niggas are like doing special stuff right now, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know, it's Mike is the leader of the underground. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, thank God for like Earl Sweatshirt for real. Yeah, I would say like if we talking about like what they do, he's like the first mantle of the Mount Rushmore for that, whatever that is.
Yeah.
In this generation. Because I also like listen to like Arm and Hammer and shit like that. Like nigga, like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like it's not like scare. Well, they call it scaring the hoes music, or whatever. But it's like, man, I send this shit to bitches, so it's like whatever. You know what I mean? They be fucking.
That is scaring the hoes. You niggas sending hoes Billy Woods. That's crazy. I'm not gonna
I ain't gonna lie. To send a girl you trying to court, Billy Woods is insane.
That's different. But no, that's I listen to you, and I don't think I've ever really gotten like this from you, like your music taste. So this is interesting. That like you like this nigga listening like nerd rap. You listen to listen to Arm and Hammer. You listen like some nerdy ass like rap at that point.
No, yeah. Like I'm really like I'm like completely immersed. Like nigga, this is like one of the greatest albums I've ever listened to of all time. Nigga.
Great album.
Yeah.
You know, I would say this. Yesterday, he didn't put out the single yesterday, but he drops his album tomorrow. I don't know if you know that or not, but he has a new album dropping tomorrow. And he has a single on there called Mercy. What is it called? It's called something. But I'm gonna look it up right now while I'm talking. But
I'm also like a huge Mac Homie fan too, like, or Mock Homie, because people don't like when you say Mac. But
yeah, niggas will correct your ass when you say
yeah. Like every time I say Mac Homie, it's actually Mock. It's like Mock Speed, like a jet. Like all right, my nigga, relax.
he got a song. Billy Wood got a song on this album that's gonna drop tomorrow. That he put out a single called "Misery." The hook is so catchy, and I'm like, shout out to Billy Woods, because when you think of Billy Woods, or maybe when I think Billy Woods, I don't think about catchy music, but the hook is catchy as hell. And I told my homeboy that, he was like, nah, nigga. He was like, when Billy Woods do a hook, that shit usually do be catchy. I was like, man, shout out to Billy Woods, man. You have to listen to that "Misery" song. That shit is so
I'm gonna check him out, of course. Like, yo, this nigga has there's a documentary on YouTube, video essay documentary, whatever. I watch some shits all the time, called Billy Woods and Black Pessimism. Have you ever?
I haven't.
All right, well, we're exchanging media now. You gave me the what was it called, soundtrack to the coup d'etat, and I'm giving you this, nigga. Type Billy Woods, the Black Pessimist in. And when he he breaks that. So this nigga really, the dude who does the video essay breaks down Antioch's the album, and then that shit is dark. This nigga Billy Woods started out the album talking about, I think me Cousteau highly Miriam is my neighbor. I'm like, whoa. First of all, when you look up who that is, that nigga
crazy.
He's like a fucking traitor to his people. Like, nigga sold his people out for riches and shit. Like, it's like
is it? Yeah, I can't get the thumbnails. This is
that's
this
it.
right
That's
here?
it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This nigga actually
prepare to be captivated, my nigga.
So this nigga is probably watching this, because this nigga be commenting on all my videos. This TD Snugs nigga, that's who made the video. So
that's hard. Yo, bro. It's okay. I don't big up niggas often, because I don't think that people put a lot of effort into producing quality things. So when they do, I become an immediate fan. That nigga right there, I don't know who he is. That motherfucker is quality and thorough. It's so good. It's very good. I share it because I got a Patreon. So like on my Patreon, like, of course these are listening to the podcast. So like we exchange shit like this. So like I shared that, and somebody was like, I've never listened to Billy Woods. I've never heard of Billy Woods, but the way that this nigga's breaking down these lyrics with the historical context involved is like, he created a fucking syllabus for this album. The shit is crazy. And they was like, I'm a fucking fan now. I don't give a fuck. Like, you can't tell me anything about him. It's like, bro, that's directly tied into somebody taking an educational and intellectual approach to his music, because that's what it is. And it's like off the walls and shit. Yeah, bro, this shit is amazing, bro. I can't vouch for it enough.
I'm subscribed to bro. I have not seen that video. I am going to watch that. I feel like before we go, I feel like I got to give you like somebody to listen to now, because I don't know who.
I'm not going to listen to anybody but El Cousteau right now. Like, I'm
telling you, that.
That's like literally how I consume music too.
That's super respectable. I love that.
Yeah. No, I'm for real, because that's how I consume music. Like, that's why, like, when I start talking music, I know everything about it, because I will literally go on a rabbit hole for 3 weeks and listen to nothing but that.
No, El Cousteau's great. I knew he was like, because it's a song that the nigga Deante has called Real Hip Hop, and his verse is it's Deante, it's El Cousteau, it's Mike, and Earl closes out the song.
Yeah, I know. I was listening to that yesterday.
And the way that like El Cousteau comes on, I'm like, bro, this sounds like a star. He coming that bit. What he say? Stop what you're doing. You know, God don't respect it wicked. Like the way he just
he's a star, bro. He's a star. Well, here's the thing. I think that people in the industry know this as well, because he was just at like the Met Gala with A$AP Rocky and shit.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
So there's an understand, like, it's brewing. But when I went to his page, because I was like, I want to interview him. Like, this man, like, it's captivated me, and I'm hyper fixating on it right now. So it's like, that's another thing too. Is like, I probably am on the spectrum, nigga. I'd be hyper fixating on shit like that. Is like a big part of it. Like how I get a lot of the information is that like I'm not just like listening to it, like I'm reading the lyrics and looking up interviews and like doing like I'm writing notes. It's a whole fucking thing. It's a weird thing. I become the nigga with thumbtacks, like like dead ass, bro.
I said Wilson closed this interview like 30 times. I feel like this is a really perfect way to close it out. Can I FaceTime him real quick and we can just holler at this nigga?
Yes, nigga. I was just in nigga DM yesterday. He's gonna know exactly who I am.
I'm gonna FaceTime.
Yeah, hard.
Shout out to Cousteau, man. Yeah, this guy's oh, here you go. Hey, bro. So I'm doing an interview real quick. Are you busy? 10 seconds. I'm doing an interview. I'm doing an interview with, hold on, let me flip the camera around. Deante Kyle. He said he was just talking to you recently.
Yeah, I'm about to say, hey, man, bro, about to get it in. Hey, that nigga a real intellectual right here. That nigga be on
asked this nigga, I say, who you listening to? He say, what he say? He say, hey man, I'm listening to this nigga El Cousteau. That's all I'm listening to. I was like, ain't no way you listen to El Cousteau.
That's
So
love, gangster. You hear me? That's fucking love, man.
Nah, for real, nigga. Nigga, go look at my story, nigga. It's your lyrics in my story right now, nigga. I swear to God, nigga.
shout out to Cousteau, man.
Nigga,
Yeah,
go look at my story right now. That shit say, I guess a pussy. I guess a head when I. What'd you say? I guess a pussy when the head ain't enough. I'm always falling in love with her. I was like, that nigga Bible right there. Nigga. That nigga got a Bible verse on that bitch.
that's so funny, man. No, I just had to call you real quick because I know he said that he fucking with
Yeah,
you.
nigga, June 22nd, nigga. I'm be in DC. We doing the interview June 22nd, nigga. You should lock that bitch in.
Okay. There we go. Hey, man. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Last before we go, this is just a Cousteau, nigga. I don't know if you remember, you proposed a question in the interview that I did with Mike and Deante, where you was like, if you could be two animals,
If you could be any, bro, if you could be any two apex predators put together, bro. Which Jones would you be, bro?
Bro, the animals. I mean, bro, the comments, bro. They don't even give a fuck about the Deante Mike interview. They just comment the animals, bro. I'm like, God damn, bro, you really took over the interview with that question, my nigga. They love
Bro,
that.
you know what I would be, bro?
What would you be?
I'd be like a like a falcon polar bear.
Hey, what I say, bro? Last time I went polar bear eagle.
You did go polar bear eagle,
Bro. This is first of all, these is like nigga a flying polar bear, nigga. A nigga could take over the world.
Exactly. Nigga's the ultimate apex predator.
Yeah.
Dominate terrains forever. You hear me?
That's hilarious. Hey, I'm gonna holler at you. I just had to give you a call real quick and let y'all holler at each other.
Man, that's a bad man. Y'all boys be safe, be smart, man. Y'all keep doing y'all thing too, bro.
For sure, bro. Holler at you later.
All right, later, bro.
Yep. Coolest nigga of all time, right there, man. Shout out to Cousteau. Shout out to Cousteau, man.
That's hard.
No, yeah, I had when you said that, it surprised me because I was like, I don't think I've ever asked anybody who you listening to, and they said, "Oh, Cousteau." I was like, "You listen to my favorite rapper, nigga? What the fuck?" You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
So,
tough, bro. Nigga tough.
Boy, shout out my boy. Hey, if there's any last words you guys say to the people, man, floor is yours, man.
Open up your third eye, nigga. Nah, just be safe, bro. Be black, and be open-minded.
Hey, I appreciate you coming through again. It's a very fun interview. For everybody watching, I appreciate y'all. Until next time, I say what I mean what I say. Haters are gonna hate, players are gonna play. You guys holler at your boy.